Today we're going to turn this into this.
We have been struggling to play catch-up this entire winter. If you'll recall, last June, Mike broke his shoulder. And if you've watched for any length of time at all, you'll have noticed that I am not well versed in some of the skills needed to keep things running on the ranch. An oversight that I intend to remedy this year, but I digress. On the nice days, we have been working to get caught up on those tasks which were left behind. Firewood, of course, being the highest priority, since we had 0 firewood at the end of last season. We have a lot of trees that have been ready to go and just needed processing, but we also had to take a number of trees down for the leach field and septic system next door, and so we needed to get those cleared in order to complete the work over there. Firewood helps us extend our propane as much as possible, something that seems very important right now considering the current state of things in the world and rising costs, especially on fuel and other imports. Firewood keeps the furnace at bay. Firewood is the chore that warms you numerous times.
We're only getting a couple minutes before the hydraulics will lead off. Still have an overabundance of faith in that parking route.
That one's ready to roll too, but I think it's going to be a little more problem because of how it's set. And let's go ahead and cut these, and you can move the backhoe up there.
Real guys, I love this wood door, and we're not going to have a wood door in the new place, so we're already trying to figure out where to put our firewood. It just makes life so much easier to get the wood into the house and stack it up easily, especially on cold days. Once we got a good bit of firewood stacked and ready to go, we needed to cover some mechanical issues. We really only have one vehicle that's fully roadworthy at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not doing this by the book. There'll probably be some rattles later from little clips and stuff that... Nope.
And today, Mike is replacing the heater core on his truck. Get it working?
So far. Yay! 2 weeks anyway.
After he finished the heater core on the truck, it was time for Mike to shift his focus over to the backhoe. First, he had some battery issues to resolve, and then he had to replace the cooling fan and shroud, reinstall the block heater, he rebuilt the starter again, and last, but not least, we experimented with trying to extend the life of the blade on the bucket. Decomposed granite is really hard on your tools. A little cold-hearted, huh?
Yep.
Doesn't want to start.
Nope. It sounded okay at first, and then, nope. Jump box is utterly worthless.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think it's dying. Fuel system seems to be really fussy about cold, and I don't understand it. The fuel can't be that wet.
We had priced out a new blade, but we were looking at about $450. So Mike decided to experiment with some rebar and some hard face rod. He first worked to repair a small crack on that side of the blade, and then added a piece of rebar to kind of build up that side, that corner. She sure is pretty. I just want to take a moment to give a huge shout out to our new patrons on our newest tiers. On the Colt level, we have Doug Lundy. Thanks, Doug. We appreciate your support. And on the brand new Soap of the Month tier, we have Tara Richards. Thank you, Tara. Your support is so appreciated. If you want to sign up for Patreon, go to patreon.com/lazyaholeranch and see what we have to offer. Once we got that all welded up and grinding was complete, we finished it off with some hard face rod and maybe a little decorative touches here and there. I got to scrub in a little bit, which I always enjoy, and practice my stick welding.
This was pretty much worn in a mirrored fashion around the bolt holes as the center line. This side was worn kind of like this. If I were to lay a straight edge across kind of the high point of the center, this is straight-ish with it. So that's kind of the goal, to just bring this corner back out somewhere close to where it should be.
Okay.
And then do a little bit of cleanup and then hard face the edges that'll be in contact with stuff. And just kind of see how that wears, if it's worth doing. You know, until a replacement cutting edge is in the budget. But it can't hurt it. So it was getting to the point where this had worn back to where it was starting to wear the actual bucket. And yeah, then you get into building up the bucket surfaces and all that crap.
And then he also used hard face rod here. I love that. To just give a little extra edge. Here's Mike's job with the hard face rod. And here's mine.
So the edge of the bucket, it is worn back about to here, I think. So we'll flatten this out with the grinder and then hard face about that ½ inch or so, and then taper back to pretty much a bead across that top where it's worn down. And it all used to be flat.
I love that it says junk. We still have a lot of work to do to get maintenance caught up here on the ranch, but the days are beginning to warm up. It's beginning to look a lot like framing. Although March and April are typically the snowiest months in Colorado, the warm-up is inevitable. And while we turn back towards the build on those nice days, we still have a few more weeks of bitter cold and snow to endure. It's nice to feel the sun on my face, though. And I'm excited about the upcoming summer of building. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you all to the moon and back. Have a great week. Bye.